other because we killing ourselves. We not when another man, I know I've been in a position. It's out of our control. It's not like he wants to kill. He just doesn't want to die. You know what I'm saying? It's that situation when you got we are living in a war zone. It's not as easy as these people are making us think that they just got some criminal ass black kids with guns. It is not like that. We live in hell. We live in the gutter. We got us stacked up 80 deep in one building. You know, by the time you get out your house, you strapped to protect yourself. Because you living in the same community that the police is carrying rifles and riot gear. Same, they need them riot, excuse my language, I'm so sorry. The same reasons they need the riot hat, the riot jacket, the flak jacket, the double vest, the 9mm Glocks with extra bullets, the tear gas, the mace, all that. Who do you think the police is using that against? Dogs? So we fighting the same villains that they fight in the street. But instead of them seeing us fighting villains in the street, we all villains.
Is your generation the one that is picking up for where the Panthers left off, saying, all right, enough is enough? The generation before us forgot about the fight. We're picking it back up.
Not only forgot about the fight, forgot about us. Yes, and we're picking it back up. But at this level, all we're trying to do is unite. And right now, as a year, we got 1 million people that's listening. Now we can tell them something. Now we can try to get them that way, and we might lose some. We might gain some, but we would never even had that audience had we not said what was real. You know what I'm saying? And the main thing for us to remember is that the same crime element that white people are scared of, black people are scared of. The same crime element that white people fear, we fear. So we defend ourselves from the same crime element that they scared of. You know what I'm saying? While they waiting for legislation to pass and everything, we next door to the killer. We next door to him, you know, because we up in the projects where it's 80 in the building. All them killers that they letting out, they right there in that building. But it's better, just because we black, we get along with the killers or something? We get along with the rapists because we black and we from the same hood? What is that? We need protection too.
Finally, I want to ask you about something that someone else asked you in the interview, and I thought the answer was interesting because I think it speaks to you and your generation a lot. Someone said, where do you see Tupac 10 years from now? You said, hey, I just want to be alive. That's real for you.
That's so real. I made a metamorphosis. I'm a new person today because I used to strongly and honestly, I feel like I could represent my generation so much because I honestly did not care whether I lived or died. But now, I cannot die with people thinking I'm a rapist or a criminal. I can't leave until this is straight. You know, I'm not suicidal. I can't go until y'all really know what time it is. And then after that, boom, it's all over. And we can see, you know, how this shit fall. But that's how it is. And the reason being is because if I can't live free, if I can't live with the same respect as the next man, I don't want to be here. Because God has cursed me to see what life should be like. If God wanted me to be this person and be happy here, he wouldn't let me feel so oppressed. He wouldn't let me feel so trampled on. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't let me think the things I think. So I feel like I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? Just because I don't have nothing to pass around for people to put money in the bucket don't mean I ain't doing God's work. I feel like I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? Because these ghetto kids ain't God's children. And I don't see no missionaries coming through there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm doing God's work. While Reverend Jackson do his up in the middle class and he go to the White House and have dinner and pray over the president, I'm up in the hood, you know what I'm saying, doing my work with my folks. And just because I don't live there don't mean I don't go there. I got to go there because I can't hang nowhere else.
Hey, what's up, y'all? So you just watched that video. If you watched it all the way through, then you watched that video. And I found it very interesting watching it and seeing the different similarities between that time and where we are now. I believe that for the most part, we've allowed our youth to grow up now in such a way that they are simply desensitized to violence and therefore more willing to resort to violence against others. You can equate this to video games, movies, music, and all sorts of cultural practices that we have allowed to change over the last few decades. But as far as living in an environment where you either load up and protect yourself or you risk the real chances of becoming a victim to the streets and neighborhoods that everybody walks through every day, right? It's something that really needs our consideration. Picture Chicago right now, right? It's literally a war zone. Where does it start and where does it end? We have to be honest and admit that we had failed ourselves collectively as a people, as a nation, as a society. Past generations dropped the ball significantly because it started with them, choosing to raise children on devices, video games, computers, accepting and tolerating different behaviors in music and other forms of entertainment, movies, shows, what have you, and allowing the sense of community to slip away. And so the end of it all has to begin with honesty and a willingness to pick up the ball right now and start to take our homes, communities, states, and then eventually the nation and the world back out of the devil's hands. Either you're tired of all this mess or you're not. And if you say that you are tired, then it requires action. Where can you contribute? Start with your own home, husband, wife, children, and grandchildren. Then start teaming up with solid families next door to you. Start community development programs and activities that promote development for everyone. Be intentional. It's going to be rough when it comes to taking away cell phones and other devices, right? Other devices from children and grandchildren, right? And so you have to understand this. We've raised them up on devices. We've raised them up in environments to where they are many people running around with their own ideals, their own personalities, right? Their own beliefs and habits and things like that. And so we've given these children addictions. People, like children, are unaliving parents and grandparents because they've taken their phones away. It should never have gotten like that. Ever. Unaliving your parents and grandparents for taking away your device. Are you serious? Right? And so not only that, like I said, it has desensitized people. Our youth, they're playing all these violent video games, blood and very gory, right? And so now it's nothing. Like it's like they can't even switch it off from the video game and the real world. And so when you see these youth out here unaliving people, dropping people left and right like it's nothing, right? And we've seen the telltale signs of this in the 90s. But people really didn't want to connect it and things like that, didn't want to accept it. But yes, it's real, right? And then like it's all kind of things that's contributed to this. Social media, things that we allowed on the TV today, even commercials, right? Things that we are allowing that just has us in a state of not being sensitive to human nature, compassion, love, right? And so, like, I'm trying to stay in step with what I wrote down, but some of these things I have to elaborate on, right? But I want to stay on topic as much as I can because I wrote all this down and it's very targeted, it's very specific, right? We have to stand up right now. This is the time for us to stand up, right? Let me get back on what I wrote. So, I mean, if we don't just take the devices, we at least have to start governing and monitoring these devices, social media pages. Be intentional. Your children, listen to me. Your children are not, and your grandchildren are not going to like it. It's going to be rough. But in a few months or so, they'll get over it. But you have to put your foot down, right? You have to put your foot down. Friends, the clothing that they're wearing, right? It's no reason the child should be walking around with hundreds of dollars pair of shoes on. Clothes, all that. That adds to it. It does. It really adds to it, right? And so where they hang out at, right? Start putting them in sports and school activities. Let's start bringing this stuff back. Let's make it relevant again. Let's focus on this stuff that's conducive to our development, our children's development again, right? It's going to take honesty when it comes to your parenting style and skills, right? I'm gonna be honest. Some people, just like your parenting skills and styles, they're not adding up. Let's be honest. But you have to be humble and be willing to accept that. Not prideful and arrogant, oh, I know what I'm doing. I mean, you have to be willing to accept the fact that you might not know what you don't know, right? Man, there's so much I can go over. I can be talking for hours, right? But I want to just sum it all up, right? Find help and don't be prideful and thinking that you know what you think you know, right? When it comes to raising yours, right? Be willing to branch out to neighbors who are like-minded as far as moving forward and creating a sense of development, an environment of community, right? Start like it's gonna be fails. It's gonna be pick yourself up and try again. Your neighbors are gonna fail. Help them out. Take from them. Give to them. Give, take. Build up. Don't be mad. Don't be so quick to cancel people out, right? If people are literally trying, help them. Be patient. Be kind. Be loving and compassionate, right? Reach back and help. Pull people up. It's gonna take this, y'all. It's gonna take this, right? Like this video inspired me. I mean, I already think on these terms. Just like Pac said in that video. It seemed like I'm cursed. He's made me in such a way to where I see the word on where it could be, right? I have that same heart in me. He's placed that in me, right? And I want to put that on everyone else. I think we all should be like that. We all had that passion. Sky is not even a limit, right? Let me get back to it. Each one of us are only one phone call away, one knock on the door with the bad news about our child being a victim of this silly game that we have created. I watched the video where an MTV reporter interviewed Tupac and asked him about his upbringing and how he believed his life would have turned out if a real father figure would have been in his life. On the contrary, he says that his only role models were drug dealers and gang members. He didn't have the community structure in place that was conducive to him being around sound role models, and we see just how that turned out for him. He was arguably one of the most influential people of the 90s and could have changed so much in the world with his voice and talents. The community let him down as well. So this goes back generations, and it's only getting worse. My question to you is, are you tired yet? Are you fed up? I'm going to end this with this. I've been to over 20 different churches over the past year and a half. Not many of these churches have programs where members actively go out into the community and spread the gospel, show love and support to the community that they live in, that they worship, that they praise God in. We wait for people to walk in through the church doors, but if they ever come in, right? If they ever come in, then we could potentially reach them. But we are to go out. The word says, how then can they call on the one they have not yet believed in? And how can they believe in the one of whom they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? And how can anyone preach unless they are sent? Sent. As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring good news. Romans 10:14-15. I seen video, I believe it was yesterday, of these European kids, 15, 16-year-olds, in Chicago, in the ghetto, on a church steps at nighttime, praising God, worshiping God, in the ghetto. The dude that was videotaping it, he said, you YNs, this is the real YNs right here, right? This is the real YNs, YCs, young Christians, right? Y'all don't want no smoke with them. They got God with them, right? The devil don't want no smoke with them, right? This is the real YNs, YCs, young Christians, right? Like, we have the potential to influence our children, our youth. You have people over here that's clearly influenced in the right way role models. Train up a child in the way that they should go, and they will not depart with it when they become old, right? These children over here, not afraid to go out in the ghetto, glorifying God in the midst of the ghetto. In the midst of the ghetto. And then you have a group over here that's clearly influenced in all the wrong ways. All the wrong ways, producing death and destruction. The question to you again, are you tired yet? Are you fed up? And if you are, how can you contribute to changing things around? The time is now, man. The time is now. I love you guys. Until next time, in Jesus' name.